1140 The Fan.
Talkin Money!
Well, alrighty then. We're back to Talkin Money with Jeff Tarbell.
Right. I guess we're on to the typical talk show topic because the text machine is blowing up at 441140. And that is the beauty of the text machine, and the downside of the text machine is you get a lot of the text. I don't know what your thoughts are, Chris, but the text has both ruined talk radio and improved talk radio at the same time. But it allows a lot more people that will be uncomfortable putting their voice, particularly on a topic like this, putting their voice on the air. And yet we probably have 20, 25 texts here. I would say we are right down the center on a yes or no. And my text question was regarding the death penalty. There is a ballot measure to repeal the death penalty being proposed, and I think is it already on the ballot or will be on the ballot? So Governor Brown, who opposes capital punishment but has enforced it while in office, said he's not he's happy that the repeal will be on the ballot. So the question is, what should we do in the state of California? You're going to get a chance to vote on this, it appears, in November. And my my question was, yes or no, how are you going to vote and why, or what do you think? And we are literally right down the center between the yeses and nos. And I can support and have the same comments on almost all of these answers. So I'll read some of these off the top, and maybe we can scroll down a little bit. Last one to come in from the 530. Yes, we should end the death penalty. Let God decide who lives and not the judgment of man. Okay. Yes, because it does not work the way it was. Yes, to end it. Yes, because it does not work the way it was meant. And with all the bureaucracy, we can't get what we're supposed to do and cut the high cost of the death penalty. Keep the death penalty, end all appeals. If guilty, put them to death within 30 days of conviction. Okay, that would be a deterrent. No, we should end it. We keep people on death row for costing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. So we're getting them on both sides of the article. So of the aisle here. The question that comes up all the time is it really a deterrent? I mean, that's really what it comes down to for me. And I thankfully, and knock on wood, have not had anybody that I know of or come across that I can think of off the top of my head here murdered by somebody or lives taken away where someone would be on the death penalty. So I don't have the same feelings and issues that a lot of people that have just a strong belief in the death penalty.
Eye for an eye type of attitude.
Yeah, my gut reaction is normally I would be an eye for an eye guy, but I don't think that anybody. First of all, I don't think that the people that do these things are real bright, or they're not thinking about the consequences. Because if you were thinking about the consequences, you wouldn't do what you're doing. So it's either a fit of rage or is there something else. So I don't know that the deterrent thing really works.
People doing that may not think that far ahead. Just a thought.
And the way it works now, it's not a deterrent. Okay, so I'm going to be put to death in 34 years. I mean,
maybe.
I think if we actually had a public hanging like they did, it'd probably be a deterrent. I think the one texture there was, you're guilty. We had one case, two cases, 30 days apart, and they hang you. Of course, you end up then with a false positive, if you will, which is someone innocent person gets hung.
Mm-hmm. That's the challenge.
And we're getting better. So we're getting so good now at our forensic abilities that we can, mistakes happen and we're able to catch them and catch up. So that's the one side of the no, and the yes side is strictly. I mean, some people are texting here about let God decide and we shouldn't decide. That's a different argument. The argument in the paper is a monetary argument.
Yes.
It is incredibly expensive to put someone through the death penalty process, to all the appeals, all the where they house them, and I'm sure there's people that are listening, and there's some people calling in. Well, if you work in the system and you want to give us a call at 339-1140 and talk about the cost or the obligations of doing that, we will do that. In fact, it looks like Nick is on the line there. Let's see if we can get to him real quick. Hey, Nick, welcome to Talkin Money. How you doing?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Give me a call. The system itself, if you ever walk through the walls or walk the tiers of these places or see what it's like, like you said, you wonder if it would deter. It wouldn't deter these guys or women that do it, okay? You have over about 700 men on death row, 300 plus approximately on, death row for women. They've talked about in the past, I don't know if you remember, that at San Quentin, they were talking about building a new death row in Folsom. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
5, 6, okay, every inmate, I think you already talked about the numbers. What does it cost each taxpayer? $175,000 per inmate?
Yeah, I think they figure that the average death penalty person is about $1 million over their lifetime, just between the costs of housing them differently, defense, and all the different things too. Versus, and I could be way off. And I have so many clients that work in the penal system they could call, but it's like it may not be 10 times as much, but it's a lot more expensive.
Well, look, I don't mind telling you, okay? I work in it, okay? And
Good.
The reason why I'm telling you that is not because I have this cold-cocked attitude where every guy should be put to death, okay? That's not my point of making a call. But if they are convicted and they're tried and they're finally put to death, I mean, it is what it is right now. As far as it going on the ballot, the question you raised in the show here, I think it needs to stay, okay? I mean, if you look at all these different cases, every case has its unique situation and what happened. But what's the number one reason why they're put to death? Because of the heinous crime they committed, okay, and what they have done. Okay, I mean, it's one of those things where you have all these inmates. I mean, you have inmates that commit crimes inside the prison that kill people as well. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You just don't hear about them every day.
No, that's a good point. I'm going to put Nick back on hold. Nick, I appreciate we'll get you to give Chris, get Nick's name and number there. We'll give him out whatever he wants. If he wants something to eat or something to go see a movie, we'll give Nick something. So I appreciate that. I had a feeling he probably worked in the system. So anyway, and I'm getting texts now that are saying, hey, the people that are supporting this are really supporting it. They're coming back from the 60s. They're people that are just anti-death penalty. They're not trying to do it for financial purposes. And there's probably some truth to that. There's probably jumping on the back of a bad economy, it makes it an easier ride, right? You can say, oh, yeah, well, whatever your belief is, we'll ride the financial wave right now because that's an easy one to ride. Hey, instead of spending $1 million, spend $150,000. So, I guess if this wasn't a topic during the boom time when when the state was flush with money and we were doing a lot of things, and so that topic didn't come up. So it is a financial related topic, and I guess there'll be a day again where the topic goes away. So I can make an argument for both sides.
Yeah,
I can make a financial argument for it, and I'm probably more like Nick. The people that I'm more of an eye for an eye guy, but at some point in time. We've got a humongous problem in the state we're getting to an income problem. We have a spending problem.
Don't we all?
We're developing an income problem. We're developing an income problem because we are not attracting new businesses and retaining the businesses that we have.
Right.
That's going to cause an income problem. That's a different story. But we've got a spending problem, a huge spending problem. And you've got to start cutting somewhere, something, and every one of them is going to be unpopular and going to have an upside and a downside. And so, it's one of the advantages of not being in politics, having to make those decisions, because no matter where you come out, someone's going to get hurt.
Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to lose.
Someone's business is going to get ruined. Absolutely. I mean, the unions for the police and the fire and everybody, you look at Stockton, and it's just all the problems that everybody's going to be hurt a little bit. So I don't know. It's an interesting topic. I've been carrying this article around for quite a while, and it's interested. So I would say we're probably 50-50 on there. So Chris, what we'll do during the break is we'll pick out one of the yeses and one of the nos, because both sides made some good arguments, and we'll call them out and give them something too. Maybe some Hangtown tickets, maybe some IMAX tickets. We got some Hellwig. I got a Hellwig gift certificate left too, so we'll give away those during the break between the hours. So appreciate your if you want to keep texting in on there, we'll keep reading those if they come up and someone stirs up some imagination. We'll do those as well.